Welcome to India's definitive design week, India Design ID. And this truly is a feast for the eyes and the stomach. Since it's lunchtime, we thought we'd look at something a little different today. And while there are lots of tastemakers here showing us lots of decor and furniture, there's also many hospitality partners who are making sure there's lots for us to eat too. And one of them is Coast's Aashti Bhartia. Aashti Bhartia is director of Ogaan, India's first and pioneering multi-brand fashion design store, and last year she launched Coast, which has a very modern, eclectic taste. So Aashti, tell us, what made you decide you wanted to be part of a design fair?
Well, it's part of the under the Ogaan umbrella, so that was an incentive because we've never done a pop-up before, and we're a design house. Even a lot of the design of Coast was something that I was intimately involved in, so it was exciting to be part of this environment. And I think next year we'll do something even more fun and creative.
And how does design and food work? I mean, how important is it to visually make food look appealing?
It's very important. Plating is very important. So we go through different stages while we're designing a menu, and of course the first one is taste. And then after that, and it's funny actually how much the plating affects how people perceive the taste as well. So if you give someone something that doesn't look good, the feedback won't be that great, and you give them the same thing with a little bit of color and 2-3 colors that look good together, and suddenly the feedback is much better. So I think it's very important.
As you said, Coast is part of the Ogaan group, and of course this is an Ogaan initiative, India Design Week, and Ogaan, as I said, was one of the foremost fashion design stores. So design is at your core. Many design people like Philip Stark have internationally worked with restaurants. Is that something you'd look at Coast?
Yes, definitely. So we want to ask, perhaps for the next design week or maybe around Diwali, we want to invite an interior architect or a designer or a lighting designer to do an interesting installation. We have a great facade which has a lot of plants, so maybe there or inside the cafe.
And with plating, I mean, South Indian food is what you kind of worked on and added a bit of quirk into it. Yet what you serve on is very Western. Would you look at getting your tableware slightly quirky and South Indian too, and redesigning that?
It's something that I've thought about, but it's challenging because I fiddled with the idea of using stainless steel, because that would and reinventing it and doing an interesting thali. But then I wasn't sure if within a contemporary, because the design, even though we serve South Indian food, we've made sure that the design of the cafe is very contemporary. And the dessert is not necessarily South Indian, because we wanted to give people a mix of flavors and not make it a South Indian restaurant. So I'll definitely have to do a lot of work if we want to go into a thali format, or if we want to bring some of South Indian plating into the cafe. We'll again have to do a lot of work to reinvent it, because we can't just use it as it is.
And how involved were you in the whole design process of it? Would you say as much time goes into designing a restaurant as it does the menu?
Absolutely, absolutely. I was very involved in the design, and it was actually a fun process. We have a lot of natural light, which I think has been a great part of our success, because people go out to get a whole experience and a moment of peace, and they love the plants and the natural light coming in. So that was good. Then we have a terrazzo floor, which again adds a kind of contemporary but also nostalgic feel to the cafe. So yeah, all those little, and then selecting the art, all those little elements I think have been very important in our identity.
A lot of fashion designers and a lot of artists and a lot of people from this whole world of design love associating with food. What is it that so many designers are such foodies?
I don't know, but yeah, it's something that I think people love because they can. In fact, one of the designers that I work with, he's supposed to be doing a collection for us, but he's constantly trying to get into the kitchen and do, desserts or salads for Coast. I guess it's just something that is, it gratifies you instantly. You can use your creativity, but it's something that you can share in the moment, which makes it more fun maybe than a collection that comes out 6 months later.
And this is a pop-up you've done here, so you've had to design the whole Coast experience. How do you design an experience? It's very different to designing an object.
Yeah, So this time we decided to just pick up art from some of the artists that are displaying in the cafe and put that up and use plants, and we do a lot of hand painted signage, so we've used that here as well. So because this was our first pop-up, we just picked up those few simple elements and put them together. But I think that we'll do more fun things next year as well.
Well, I know you've been busy making sure we're well fed, but I hope you've been looking around, and any particular stalls or anything you've seen that has made you think, I want to integrate this design person into Ogaan, or anything you've seen that has made you think this person...
there's lots here. So I love Alex Davis's chhatri, the metal chhatri, and we've used his work at Ogaan in displays before. So that was a fun installation. Then I like the Kriya woodwork, because we do a lot of woodwork furniture at Coast, and I think they've done some great chairs and furniture. I mean, there's so much.
There's also a lot of, after Subodh Gupta, there's been a lot of usage of Indian kitchen utensils in art.
Yeah.
And a lot of taking sort of Indian kitchen ornaments and turning them into art. Is this something that you see yourself also taking forward at Coast?
Perhaps. If I could convince Subodh Gupta to do an installation, then there'd be nothing like it.
So next time you're eating, have a look how it's plated, because it's not only about the taste, it's also about how it looks. For more stylish updates, do follow us on India Design ID on Twitter and Instagram.